एक ब्रीफ है, लिखे जा, कल तेरे पेपर में छाप दे.
The media is going to get offended. They're not going to take this constructively.
पूरा मैगजीन निकाल सकते हैं जस्ट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ फ्री लंचेस.
डिफरेंशिएशन तो ट्रेड मीडिया के साथ ही हो रहा है. मेन लाइन को तो वैल्यू मिलती है.
Hello everyone, I'm Jiten Vasavda and welcome to the Unpopular Opinion. Today's a little interesting because there's a switch in the host of this podcast. Anita, who is the usual host of this series, is one of our guests today. And today we are here to talk about something really interesting that goes beyond travel in the media industry. I'm sure it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows. My left is this beautiful lady, Varsha. I have Anita. And of course, the media veteran. I think he's been the media guru for all of us for a pretty long time, Mr. Sheldon. So good to have you guys. And let's start with the burning question. Is the Indian media an ads in disguise? The travel media an ads in disguise? And it starts with something very personal to everyone. Sheldon, what do you think respect means to you?
So, Jiten, I've had two very large stints in the travel media. So what I'm saying now would hold no truth if I was talking to you in 2010 or even in 2015.
Okay.
But the scenario has changed completely over these years. And what we are seeing now is content being dictated and directed because media, obviously with the large amounts of supply, the way media has grown, the advertising pie hasn't kept up at all. So the advertising pie has gone to 2x or 3x. Media has gone to 10x. If 10x of expansion is fighting for 2 or 3x of the pie, there is going to be a compromise whether you like it or not. The thing is, how do you walk that tightrope?
If I'm getting it right, Sheldon, somewhere, are you succumb to accept what is given?
Yeah. So
is that what you're trying to convey?
So let me explain. So once the editorial team and the sales team go to work together, the final decision is made by the business owner. Now it's up to him to decide whether the editorial team will succumb or not to succumb. So if you're asking me personally, have I seen compromise? I've seen a lot of compromise.
So you think that respect for you is more of a compromise at this point of time, and it's mutual, it's both ways, allowing it to settle, where we agree to disagree and take that ahead. But I'm sure Anita will have a different perspective here because you've been at both sides. We have the brand side as well, and now being a content curator by yourself and a journalist by yourself as well. We often discuss, Anita, and I've kind of offline heard from you. All said, the word respect means a lot to you. Is it somewhere how you treat people? Does that matter?
Yeah, I mean, in general also, you have to treat people equally. You have to treat people respectfully. But the problem here is, I mean, I see it at events. I mean, let me, practically answer you with examples. Yeah. There's an event happening on a Sunday afternoon. I, as a journalist, am giving my Sunday to you.
Sure.
Okay. And then when I attend the event, there is trade media. We are finishing the interviews and everything at 6 o'clock. And they say, guys, you have to wind up now because the next set of guests are walking in. Trade media is asked to move because they want to open the cocktail bar. I felt really, the whole purpose of journalism is defeated here.
I understand.
Because it's humiliating. What do you take us for?
It is.
And we are giving you the coverage. We are giving you the news. We are doing a serious news here. We are taking interviews.
But is that a point which just Sheldon brought about a minute ago? That is the business lineage that is affecting the current set of journalists?
The trade also needs to understand that the trade has relied on us for the last 3 or 4 decades when there was no other form of media.
I think
There are
the face your face of the travel industry today. What we see travel is very personal.
The voice of the travel industry.
Absolutely, I agree.
So over the years, there are brands and there are people in this industry who have been built largely on the basis of the trade media. So now, I think there is a kind of taken for granted. So it's also like an insider or an outsider perspective. So the travel trade insiders are treated like ghar ki murgi. You know,
I know. So you mean to
so
say,
it's like,
yeah,
don't
I
worry,
understand.
you're ours only. We
I
don't
like
need
your
to.
Hindi about gar ki murgi dal barabar. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you were, if you're trying
So
to
that's
build a
another
narrative.
thing. So they don't really take you seriously because they know you over the years.
So I'll
They've
just
grown up
ask you
with
to
you.
hold on your
That's wrong to an
perspective.
extent. Yeah.
You know what, and that is where something
It's
for
wrong
our audience is on a
completely.
broader
Yeah.
mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in fact, you know what? That's why I said I'd like to hold on for a minute here to your perspective and for a broader mass and for our audiences. No, Varsha, you've just been the new entrant, I would say so, from a mainline journalism to a travel trade media, right? Could you, for once, just for our audiences, make us realize that what the role of travel media has been and how they have contributed to the ecosystem?
So I would first like to bring this up that when Anita pointed this out, that how the trade media is treated differently.
Mhm.
So I was a journalist for mainstream magazine, and when we used to go for events, it was never like that. That you have to oh, you are the one who can ask questions. It was the floor was open to all.
Everyone.
Now, when we go to big events, I have seen there is a certain kind of distinction. They pick and choose. They will only, the PR person will specifically walk up to a B2C media person. They will say, you can ask a question, you can ask a question. And for that matter, even an influencer is approached and said that, okay, you can also ask a question. But there have been times when we said, hey, come on, like we also have a question. We can do that later, because he doesn't have that much of time.
Sure.
And that's a slap on your face. Like, well, then why the hell have you invited us? If we do not have the right to question. And for that matter, there have been times when we've been approached and we've been said that, okay, these are the talk points, and you can only ask questions on these talk points. I don't want to ask you what is your what do you do, how you built up this company. We've done that research.
Okay.
There are some hard hitting questions that we have, and when we put that across, we are said, oh, we are removing these questions. We Media was never dictated in that way.
So do you somewhere feel, and then there's a classic incidents outside the travel world. There was one time when cooperative banks were being slaughtered. Is there something happening to the travel trade right now that are they the lambs being slaughtered by any means when that it comes to respect per se?
I think, yeah.
It's happening. No?
Do you feel so, Sheldon, after this
absolutely.
perspective?
Absolutely. I think there is. I think the travel media is discriminated against. And I think it's a very short term vision, really.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, I could be wrong. These influencers are just a couple of years away from disappearing.
Okay.
Again, that's my personal opinion. And at that point of time, you're going to have to be forced to come back.
Okay.
So if you look at all the large brands that have come into India today, except the ones who have come in maybe in the last 5 years,
Mhm.
they owe the travel media a lot.
Okay.
But today, it is sad, but the fault lies on both sides. So I don't think it's completely the travel media's fault. And I don't think it's completely the travel trade's fault. The fault lies somewhere in between because both of the people have made a lot of mistakes along the way.
So quick one to you, and I'll pose it across three of you. Is it more of a compromise in nature at both the ends, or is it being taken for granted kind of situation, or is it really still the word respect? Because of the incidences just narrated by Anita, I'm sure no one's coming for a cocktail for sure. So, what's your take? How would you
First I
sum it
want
up?
to say that, we are being dictated and they do it confidently. We are taken for granted for sure. We don't have any problem with the content creator. It's a difficult job. Okay. Content
Absolutely.
creation is not easy. All I'm saying is each one of us have our own strengths. Okay. Influencers are important for the consumer market, yes, but don't take the trade media for granted. We are not here to just publish your press release. An influencer fam is happening. They are sending us a press release.
Vasha, you had
What
something
is
very
this?
interesting to say on that. And I think sure you're waiting for your chance on this. Like, go ahead.
No, but my first trip with the entire trade community, and that's where I met most of them. So how do I put it?
So we were at a
without taking
conference. We just
without taking
finished the
names.
conference, the first part of
And
the
there was
conference.
this one activity that we were invited for, and we've been doing
Okay,
that entire
interesting, yeah.
conference.
Conference.
And then just one activity we've been invited for, and we just all go and show up right on time. And then there's this
the host.
the host. She says, फ्री का एक्टिविटी करने के लिए मीडिया हमेशा टाइम पे आ जाती है.
That's hard.
That was a shock.
That's hard one. That's hard one.
I immediately turned and looked at them to get some reaction that how can someone say such thing? But had it been a consumer media or for that matter an influencer, they would have just collectively walked away. The problem with us is that
Sure.
if 3 of us are going to decide that no, we are not going to do it, 10 of them are still going to be there. So we are not
Cohesive.
Cohesive unit.
Exactly. Thank
And
you.
I think that's where it comes to a next part of our conversation. We certainly came to a point that yes, respect is something that needs to be mutual for sure. Let's not take it for granted for sure. And that's what I would say, sum it up this segment as, the word respect is often attached to something called as taken for granted. They have been contributing to the ecosystem. Let's appreciate that, acknowledge that. But at the same time, which comes to the next part, is the travel trade media cohesive unit? Everybody is running for their share of pie,
Yeah.
compromising every point of time.
Hmm.
It takes a minute to negotiate and
Absolutely.
finish off the matter.
Yeah.
How would you stand out in that perspective? Because the mainline media often would not succumb to that.
Maybe because we all are looking at the same pie, we are not looking at the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Okay.
We all want to fight for that small pie. That, oh, if she's not doing it, I'll do it. If they are not bending, we'll do it.
So
That
which
is the
leads-
reason.
Is there a lack of creativity by any means?
Exactly. If all the 20 publications or 50 publications are writing about the same press conference in the same way, there's no creativity.
Shailen, creativity is something that is again often misunderstood. Today, people for them, and he's smiling. I'm sure.
I have so much to say.
Please, please.
So first of all, there are two things that I'd like to touch upon. The one that Anita said, first of all, that we're 50 travel trade media, approximately. I don't know that.
56.
56. I have
That's a
zero
number.
idea. I last knew 20 and I'm probably outdated with the other 30. But that's an issue. You
I
cannot
agree.
have 50 travel trade media servicing a very small industry in one country. I haven't seen that in any other country. So this itself is an issue. And if this continues to, grow like this, it's a reflection on the quality that you're going to get, because there are no qualified people.
Yeah.
There is no necessity to hire qualified people if all you're going to get is. So the other point that you also asked is this doesn't happen to mainline media or influencers. I beg to differ. Everything is dictated today. Everybody has a price point. In the travel trade media,
Okay.
the price point is way lower, maybe 1/100th of the price point of what a mainline media will bend at.
Sure.
But I have had experience in mainline media, and I know that they will bend and print exactly what you want.
Mhm.
The price point has to be right. Everybody has their price point. And so do the influencers.
Yes.
The problem in the travel media that we are trying to address, and I'm not doing mainline media bashing, I'm simply saying that our price points are so low, and that is where it's taken for granted. People actually say sometimes you don't need a price point. A free lunch or a free dinner is enough to do it, and that's not even a price point, right? So this is the problem. We are plagued by these
So are you
issues.
telling me that often said the phrase there are no free lunches with travel media? Is that a possibility? in
Well, I have
reality?
to be honest.
There are.
There are always free lunches here.
There are free lunches. Okay.
Yeah, come.
I think it's time for the entire community to come together, and therefore, Vasha, is creativity a price point?
It is.
It is.
Definitely.
Why isn't travel media accepting that?
Because we don't want to go out there. We as a community don't want to try new things. Because कौन मेहनत करे? इतना टाइम और दिमाग कौन लगाए?
और इतना बड़ा टीम किसके पास है?
Exactly.
You want to crunch
Again, no,
your
I think
costs,
I back to the free Sheldon, because it's not about team. Creativity comes with an individual, right?
Yes.
And it's the input that you come across with. It's the thinking process. Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we always make it to a price point where there's no value creation, and often the principal companies have to then reject the ideas, and then they feel, oh, you know what? Every time this guy comes with a perspective, you know what, just support me with this kind of stuff, and let's proceed with that. You already have succumbed to the situation at the very beginning
Yeah,
itself. But
I
how
agree. I admit
interesting would
it.
have it been? You know what? This is something that I hire for you, and there's no price to it at this point of time. Lay down the concept. Are the concepts
Okay,
missing?
let me explain. This is a cycle.
Okay.
Money is the biggest motivator for sure. If you have money, you have money for creativity as well. The problem is the creative freedom. There are very few clients who give you that freedom that, Anita, okay, you do something creative, but for that, it takes money. Why? Because you need skilled people
Sure.
to get that kind of content out. But then, who's paying?
So, which again answers the point in creativity, the skill set.
Normally, you would have a creative team, which is separate, a sales team that is separate, and a creative team requires 2 or 3 minds to think
Yeah,
together, to come up with a
absolutely.
concept, to
Correct.
do the entire
Mm.
thing. Today, the entire publications and their website are running on a team of 2 people
Two
or 3. The whole thing, the whole office is 3
So then,
people.
where's the creativity?
So where is the creativity? But let me also tell you that what she said just now about the trade dictating this and the trade dictating that, it is because we function in an industry. I wouldn't even want to call it an industry, in a segment that is largely 90% disorganized. It is disorganized. It requires no licensing. It is unstructured. It is unregulated.
Correct.
Okay. Any trade media is a reflection of the industry services.
Sure.
If the industry itself is so deregulated, de-recognized, de-everything, this maybe what would you call it? This unprofessionalism in the travel media is a clear reflection on the unprofessionalism of the industry. Both of them go hand in hand. You can't complain about each other because you're as bad as the other one.
Two very touchy topics, and we have been kind of discussing on that, the influencers, right? And the mainline media. Let me talk about this new bubble called influencers today. And somewhere, don't you think they've earned that because of their skill set and because of their kind of capability? And is travel media lacking that to give the kind of numbers or commitments?
I think you're missing the point. The audience are completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
For influencers, they have to create that content, and somewhere down the line, trade media and influencers, we all can work together because they're serving a different set of audience.
Yeah, B2C.
They don't have to influence the travel agents to sell something.
Sure.
Wherein we have to write the facts. I can't tell a travel agent, oh, this place is beautiful and you guys have to come. No, I have to tell them the real facts.
Mhm.
Then only the travel agent will understand if this destination or this cruise is right for that segment of traveler.
Okay.
Right? So the audience are completely different.
Also, the fact that there can be no comparison between an influencer and a media. The influencer, it's completely based on content creation.
Mhm.
Our job is we are trying to be a journalist here.
Then why often compare yourself to influencers or the mainline media?
No,
Because of the discrimination.
Yeah.
The way we are discriminated.
Okay.
That is the challenge. They are doing a fabulous job. Even we follow them. We love looking at their videos. Social media is all about travel, the kind of content that they're creating. Fabulous.
Mhm.
But do not compare, it's just an influencer, this thing, we are only doing
Yeah,
this
we are
particular
only
segment.
calling
We are
influencers
calling
today.
influencers, and on top of that, you have the audacity to send us a press release of a influencer fam.
So is
Why?
that a point that
But why would a trade be interested in seeing this news that
Now,
an influencer,
So,
10
Even
influencers
Therefore-
influencers are now attending trade exhibitions by
Exactly.
tourism boards internationally, and we are just getting the press release. Please understand, if a supplier or if an industry person is meeting a trade publication, and if we interview them and the travel agents read about them, the travel agent will give them business back to back. Whereas an influencer is writing about a destination, okay, the consumer is going once, that's it. Maybe 10 lakh views, they will get what, 2,000 nights, 3,000 nights. But if a travel agent is comfortable with that brand will get business for years.
Yeah.
So the audience are complete, and they will always compare us with the eyeballs. Oh, influencer is getting us 1 million. Do you have 1 million followers? Excuse me, for trade media, we can't have 1 million followers.
I think that it's time to set the narrative right. I think the matrix has to be right when it comes to numbers.
Yes.
And I think
Jiran, let me just
Sure.
add to that,
Sure,
to
sure.
what she said, right? I'll give you 2 examples and how it doesn't work at all.
Mhm.
So, 2 very established tourism boards in India, both based in Bombay. they normally take trade media to the country for their B2B exhibition.
Now,
Last year and this year, decided to drop all the trade media and take only influencers for a B2B exhibition.
exactly.
Both of these experiments completely failed because it's the wrong people in the wrong place.
Sure.
So now they're going to come back and I'm going to say no. But that
I
doesn't
think-
matter. If I say no,
Exactly.
5 other people will go on that trip.
So can
right?
I add something to
Please.
that? And also, like, because they have been invited, the influencers were invited to a B2B event. Now they need to produce something, right? They need to show that, oh, we've worked. They do not have a platform. They have a social media where they are posting travel related videos. They cannot be posting interviews. So now the influencers are approaching B2B media that, oh, I was invited to this
What do I do?
destination. We
Can you publish?
can we do an interview over there and we would like to publish it in your magazine? Why would I do that? Now the problem is that maybe we will say no. There will be 2-3 media houses who will
Who will
accept
go?
it.
Because they were not invited in the first
I
place.
But they want to be like, they want to just
But the
showcase
biggest
themselves to the
takeaway-
destination.
The
No, they
biggest
want to keep
takeaway
the
here is, I think,
potential client.
for all of us
No,
to
and what
kind
she
of,
also
take
said
away
was,
from.
she also said in the previous point she made that they ask you whether you have 1 million
Yeah.
followers. They ask you,
Is
let's
it
say, if you have a few
possible?
lakh of followers. What is it? It's not necessarily how many followers, it's the engagement.
Exactly.
So
And
if
the
you
quality
post
of
something
audience.
on a B2B exhibition, how much engagement are you going to get on that post?
And that's why I think, Sheldon, the act and the kind of perspective again you set up, you telling a no,
Yeah.
is a big thing. I think that's what trade media needs to do more often.
Exactly.
Which again drives back to our first conversation, the first very point, the respect.
Respect
It
that
begins with
comes.
yourself.
Yes.
I think we should be
We
bold
got to
enough.
stand up
Yeah,
now.
we need to
It's-
stand
it's
up for
But I
time.
ourselves.
told you, when they come to me this time, I'm going to say no. But they will fill those 5 slots with everybody
Easily.
else who will say
They-
yes.
yeah.
So how does it matter?
It's often seen today, the other media houses, the mainline media today have started collaborating big point of time. But don't you think that it's now the time for the travel trade media also to start collaborating and give some very interesting piece of content, curation, value to the end result?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But since you have a case study, I think you can elaborate on it.
No, but we also invited Sheldon. He said, you guys are too low for me. I only work with Indian Express standard. No,
Yeah.
but I would also like to point this out that we've Anita and I have collaborated in the past as well, and it is not liked by everyone.
We have been questioned.
We've been questioned. I got a call on a Sunday afternoon by this gentleman based in Delhi, and he said that this is not the kind of content I was looking forward to from India outbound.
You mean the client?
No, not a client.
The person is not a client.
Just a audience.
Just
one of the audience. Like
useless
one of the-
audience, but yeah.
Doesn't
There was
Sunday, no?
there was Varsha coming out of it.
That
Yeah,
was
so
Sunday
I think
afternoon.
it took
Not
away your
professional.
weekend.
You cannot call me on a Sunday
Doesn't
afternoon.
really matter unless the person was the client.
So-
It doesn't matter.
No.
But even
It doesn't
for a
matter. But
client.
then, like, you're not supposed to tell me that, and I said that if you do not like it, unfollow. I never forced you to. I
It's a
never.
reflection of the industry you work in.
Absolutely. So yes, so they did not like it, but still we've continued to do that. Still we are trying to come up with new ideas, new creativities, whatever we can think of. We go to a destination, we start brainstorming, and mostly it is her that, let's do this. She's the one who's the powerhouse of ideas. But we
Then we
always
all work
love
together.
we always love to share that thing,
Yeah.
that
And
attitude
now
that
you
yes, we can
see the trade
collaborate.
media coming together, and I don't know, for industry they thought maybe trade media doesn't talk to each other. We all talk to each other.
Oh my God, we are buddies. You've seen this.
I know that.
Again, that's
now I
that's
think
You know what?
community is coming.
That's a large statement coming from her. Yes, we all talk to each other. Yes, we all talk to each other in a select segment of
Oh
the
God.
industry.
No, my point being,
We are
so
clarifying
so you know what, that's what, again, collaboration is often considered to be the communities coming together. Have you ever tried to go out of the industry?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a different perspective.
So we are evolving. Give us some time.
I'm sure. So what I'm loving about three of you is the controlled aggression. You're just filled up, how can I burst out? Well, that's lovely to see. And before we sum up, and
No, so to answer your question directly,
Okay.
or whether you can collaborate outside the industry and
I'm
work
sure
with-
you can, nobody
So,
stops.
yes, we can, and yes, I have, and it's worked very well, and nobody has questioned me.
Lovely.
People think they question me, they're not going to get the answer they like. The people we're talking about, they can't come and ask me, why are you doing this? And my answer would be, none of your business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's true, which is why they don't ask. So they probably put pressure on them.
That's your
because, like
answer
she
for a
said,
Sunday call.
Yeah.
One thing that media needs to do differently, the travel trade media, one thing.
Dare to be a little more creative, I think.
Vasha, one thing that brands should rethink.
Being more inclusive,
Hmm.
bringing all of us under one umbrella. Do not distinguish between this and that. We are all there to help you create, like, get more views, get more visibility. So we are all working for the same purpose. So we should be treated equally. So they should be a bit more inclusive.
One thing that industry must protect.
they must protect their integrity. Right now, they have no integrity at all. The industry has zero integrity. Have you seen the way they function? They must protect their integrity. And you said one thing the travel trade media must do. We must get more professional, because we are highly unprofessional.
Ethics.
Ethics.
We
The
need more
ethics
media
and
ethics.
we have to change, because if we don't change, we're killing ourselves.
The word no is a definition by itself. I think that's what the travel trade needs to kind of adapt to first start and understand where and when
Where
to
to
tell
draw
a
the
no.
line? Where to draw the line?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It
Absolutely.
comes with that. So, gentlemen and gentlemen and gentlewomen, I would say
Gentlemen.
beautiful women,
Gentlemen.
they've been pretty kind of kind
It's
today.
far from gentle.
Of course, all all have a very controlled aggression. Thank you for doing that.
Learning.
Well, this was unpopular opinion, and sure will not be popular with many, but we want to make it. And thank you for so much for being there. It was a great time learning with you all. I think from today's takeaway, the most important point will be, let's team up and build a cohesive unit and take the next league ahead.
And get more professional about
Yeah.
what we do.
Thank you so much, guys, for having you on.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Jiten.
StarDream
Anita.
Cruises.
Actually,
What
Who would have
media
thought we'd be
space
doing a podcast on a cruise?
No, actually,
Thanks to you guys.
thank you, Jiten, and thank you, Anita, for doing
Yeah,
this. It was about
absolutely.
time,
Anita,
and
fabulous,
thank you,
man.
Naresh, for the Dream Cruises, the venue,
And the free lunch.
and the
Thank
free.
you and thank you for making us a part of it.
Yeah.
It's really a
Can we
big
have free
honor.
drinks as well?
और एक चीज है, मीडिया बिक गई है.
Thank you very much. Before they go on, I better.
Meeting है.
Well done. Well done. Well done. I'm a complete fan now.
बोला नहीं तूने चल.